What's going on, everybody? You are on the right YouTube channel. But this is the crew from BJ and DG Talk Wrestling doing the official review show for SPO's event this past Sunday, the silver anniversary of the Backseats. Next to me, we got BJ. We just get a thumbs up. He's playing the quiet game here.
I was trying to mess with some settings. I wasn't ready for that. Hey, everybody. Welcome.
And you can do your introduction for Chef here.
And down here, we got, sometimes as always, Chef the Ref.
How's everybody doing tonight?
So, wow, what an event, right?
Amazing.
This past Sunday.
Definitely the best SPO event yet. Definitely raised the bar.
Yeah, like that, and what, we're 4 days later now, 3 days later, and I still can't put my finger on it of what made it special, but it was just different in the best way possible. Like, we're just starting to talk about it. We haven't started talking about anything yet, and I'm starting to get that energetic energy again from the show.
Let's just say card subject to change is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, we learned that in the best way possible this weekend.
That weren't possible, and they threw together some of the best possible matches.
Can't even say threw together. These matches were thought out when they on the fly. The way that these matches came together was just beautiful work by the men behind the scenes there to book this match.
Yeah, and thank you to all the fans that showed up. You guys had amazing energy from beginning to end.
Yeah,
and that's part of what pro wrestling is all about. Thank you to all the sponsors: Tone Love, Nana's Cotton Candy Clouds, Burnt Coffee, R5 Media, Run Sanaya Run, and just everybody that was there that helped put this together, including the staff, and just everybody running everything behind the scenes. Thank you to Mayor Roots, who did some commentary at one point during the show.
Scott's suit was impeccable. Just that color scheme.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh,
yeah. The whole thing was just amazing. But I guess it's time to get into the action, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And our opening match of the night.
There was some action before the action, though.
There was. Yeah, we had the
karate
school
martial arts demonstration, which they did a fantastic job.
Yep.
Amazing.
That was really fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
Indeed.
And then we had Todd Rod come out.
And he had on the full gi with Rogers Place on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Just went out there, broke a board in half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then actually got to speak to him after the show. Come to find out, he's actually a brown belt in martial arts.
No way.
Nice.
Yeah.
What?
Like,
wouldn't have thought.
I mean, with the way he throws those kicks as rerun, I guess he was there.
Now that I think about it, yeah, it makes sense.
How you doing tonight? And you are welcome. We are always happy to help.
Yes, Tara included us in a lovely video for the Backseat Boys, since unfortunately they were not able to make the show due to other obligations that they had and other things going on in their career. So we celebrated on their behalf, and we did send a lovely video to them, and they sent us a thank you message back. So thank you, boys.
Yes. So, should we start at the beginning?
That always seems like a good place to start.
BJ, I'll let you start with this one.
All right. So first up, my heart was a little bit broken. Skills comes out, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Who's paired with Skills? I didn't know he had a client, like, besides. Anyway, and
he's had a couple of clients.
Primal Fear come on out, and I got a little uncomfortable. I was like, wait, this doesn't feel right, and they just didn't have the same vibe about them at all. And they got in the ring, they cut a heel promo, and it was clear that They aren't the same Primal Fear anymore. They
Skills
are,
got to them.
yeah. They want those belts, and they're willing to go above and beyond to do whatever it takes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
They
for
weren't
go
they weren't
ahead.
having fun on the way out to the ring. Like I put
Oh,
my hand out as usual. That I just got the no.
I was just about to
no,
say that.
no
And then the
soul looked at me like,
bandanas, yeah, the bandana spot with one of the kids, you know,
yeah, yeah.
didn't do that. It was all of a sudden like we pop, like, yes, one of our favorite teams, and then instantly that gas was just gone. It was just like, oh wow.
But then,
What
And
is
that
happening?
leads us to, well, what is going on here? What kind of bizarro world are we in? Bizarro world continue because who comes out but the rep to some of the loudest cheers I've ever heard in my life.
And being performed to the ring by a gift.
Yeah, yes, they were. And the rep came out. They were smiling. They were not just smiling, but they were intensely smiling. They were
they had
ready
that
to go.
swagger.
They
They
were
were
they,
ready to go.
they were
This and
hearing
this
the
was
crowd.
and this was something we speculated about in our preview show, was how their match with Blade and Gotch ended at the previous event, coming into this after that show of respect, because wow, like that was kind of a turn there almost. Like if they respect them, oh wow, yeah, we were going to get to that. Oh, what a spot that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Primal Fear went up for the 10 punches. The rep just grabbed them. And
And
just,
by the way, this is before the bell rang.
yeah.
That the bell
Yeah.
still had not rang yet.
Yeah.
Well,
When
the
they
little
hit,
bit
like
Refniction.
I do believe they call it the champagne toast.
Yes. Refniction trying to get control of everything. And finally, we get one guy from each team in, and the match starts. And what a match it was between these two teams. BJ, Primal Fear, they're your boys. Did you think they really had any legitimate shot to win against the rep?
No. The Primal Fear are absolute beasts. I love Primal Fear. The rep are the rep. They
Yeah.
are behind the back seats. They're the most dominant tag team in SPO. They're without a doubt just absolutely terrifying. They're just brutality personified.
And neither one of these teams were scheduled to face each other. Like
They
this
were
was one of the matches that we
unannounced
really didn't have any predictions on, but we were just talking about rep stuff and everything. And now we got this
Here
match,
they
which
are.
it was amazing tag team match to open up the show.
Mm-hmm. The Rep
know-
are officially a crowd favorite in SPO. I think we can say after that night, they were definitely
It's a long time
beloved.
Even
Yeah.
in conversations between the three of us, we've always said we want to cheer for these guys, but they just
Now we
keep
have
doing
reason to.
things that we just can't cheer for them.
Yeah,
And now even their reaction when the reactions they were getting, there was a moment where they turn around and they look at the way we're sitting. And
you hear that? You hear them?
They looked very surprised.
No, pleasantly. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they were motivated by the crowd.
Now-
Like,
I will say this is a match I would love to see again.
oh sure,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And now, Skills kind of felt like that him and his team were thrown under the bus. I won't say no by any specific names, but it's somebody who has say in matches. Felt like they were set up to fail going up against the Rep. And Primal Fear had a chance in that match.
Oh yeah,
But the Rep just being who they are.
Oh yeah.
dominance personified.
Yeah.
Once
Like,
they got
it's
that hot
power-
tech to Nate, it was
And
ball game.
it's
was
power
yeah.
and speed. It's power
Mhm.
and speed constantly. And they have both between both of them, just in different aspects.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, interesting enough, also, A Gift grew up with the Rep.
Oh okay.
Okay, and that explains exactly why they had him escorting them to the ring, wrapping them out there. Did a great job with that
Oh,
too.
and they were
no.
vibing during the entrance. Like, I think that entrance even fired them up more.
I've watched my footage of that entrance like 3 times since Sunday.
But in the end,
the rep was the rep, and they do what they do. They dominate.
So both these teams had some choice words after the match. Let's go with the losers first and show the footage of what Primal Fear had.
Man, these idiots in Chester, they don't know anything. That was clearly an unfair fight. I mean, the rep, they had a whole concert before the match even started. I got tired out watching this guy perform. And then, dude, can you believe what they did? They put their hands on the best manager in professional wrestling. They put their hands on Skills the Great. Man, tell them how you feel about that.
I can't believe it. Let me tell you something, Backseat Boys, you bunch of cowards. You were supposed to be here today. You couldn't even be in your own anniversary. You were scared of us. You know we taking them titles when we see y'all. But the rep, just know, we gotta get our get back on the next time. It ain't gonna be sweet.
That's right.
You heard?
Let them know.
So real quick, before we move on to what the rep had to say, what's your reaction to this? Because this footage was also shown on Spokecast yesterday. Reactions to the promo.
When I saw it, it was, Primal Fear has gone full heel. Skills has gotten into their head. He's gotten into their just psyche somehow. And whatever magic he's pulled on them, maybe it'll be reversed at some point. But for now, he's got them, and they're his guys.
And I'll tell you what, they're a little presumptuous. They're not the number one contenders.
No.
I mean, there are no number one contenders to my knowledge. And if there were, I don't think they would be it right now.
It would have to be the rep, right?
I would think it would be the rep right now.
Yeah,
but I haven't heard anything official.
No. But if we look at what we've seen the last couple shows, the rep did their thing at the last event, and then just this past Sunday, they're out there doing it again. Every time they go out there, even if they were to lose, you still look at them like that wasn't easy. Like their journey back to the top's not going to take long.
Yeah, no, Backstreet Boys had a hell of a time getting the belts back off of them.
So I counter your guys. The idea of them being managed by Skills now is just the idea that Skills is a manager of champions.
There is that. You can't deny that.
He's right there, and if they're trying to get to that next level and get to those SPO Tag Team Championships, hey, maybe this is them wanting to be a little bit more serious now. Let's stop with the fan interaction a little bit, and let's do what we're here to do, and that's win gold. If you're not in it to be at the top, why are you doing it at all?
Well, of course.
But there are guys who are just as serious, but also are cool to the fans. They didn't have to go full no, the fans don't matter anymore. We're the only thing that matters. That's Skills influence in their head.
But you know what? If you have to get to the next level, maybe you got to change something. Because, we're not saying they're not a great team. But, hey, maybe they think they're at a point where, all right, we've been kind of 500 here. What do we do to get a streak going? Build that momentum. Getting a championship opportunity. Or even being in just a number one contenders match.
Yeah, that's
not the only new client we saw with join Skills during this event, which we will talk more about later.
Coming up, that's what we call a tease.
Yeah, but now let's hear what the rep had to say.
Oh, this I want to hear.
You see, Nate? That's what it's about. That is what tag team wrestling is about. And if it's one thing that the rep knows, it's tag team wrestling.
Yes, sir.
While we're the king of the kings. Top of the heat.
Yes, sir.
Every dog that's come in here, we shut him down.
That's right. No, see, it ain't about them dogs, okay? All of y'all small dogs, y'all puppies, okay? We the ones that run this yard. We the one that runs tag team wrestling, okay? So you want to bring your ass to Spo? Go ahead, bring it. Bring it and step up and see exactly where you measure up. I'm gonna tell you where you measure up at, though. You're good enough, but you're still below the rep. That's what we do. That's what we show every time we out here.
And every once in a while, we gotta remind people of the one thing that you never do.
You don't fuck with the rep.
Explicit content, folks, and probably warranted.
And we've gone
Channel
PG-13.
I have a feeling this might get R-rated by the end of the show.
Let's hope not, you know.
Nah, we'll be good. So, but yeah, that is just that intensity that the rep brings. You can see it in their eyes, in their faces, in their body language. They want it all, and they're coming for it, and they don't care who's in their way. But they have turned a corner with their attitude now towards the fans. They are now embracing the fans, but they're still keeping that intensity, which is why I don't understand why Primal Fear felt they needed to go the other way with it. But hey, I'm fine with us getting the rep, and we get to actually cheer and be happy for them now.
I'll take
All right.
X-Raid.
All right, so to finish this off before moving on,
Mm-hmm.
are the rep now the number one contenders, and do we swing back around to a matchup we thought that a feud we were done with, and the rep getting a shot at the back seats and reigniting this feud that fueled most of the past year of SPO wrestling and even spilled into other promotions?
I honestly have no problem with that. I loved seeing all of the matches that these teams had against each other, and I have no problem with calling the rep the number one contenders after what we saw this weekend.
Same. Yeah. And I would have called them number one contenders before this weekend, and knowing they didn't have an advertised match, I would feel like they would still be number one contenders by the end of this past weekend.
Or at least we would have seen another team step up to look dominant like them to maybe warrant those two teams going together.
Closest
any
we've
other
seen
team?
was and closest we've seen was Blade and Gotch. And yeah, I mean the Backseat Boys, they did win the belts back off of them, but look how much life it took out of them when they did it. So, I mean, I'm not betting against the rep personally.
Yeah, at this point. Until it comes down to rep backseat, and if it comes down to rep backseat, we'll see. And only then we'll see how I'm feeling about calling it one way or the other.
Fair.
Excuse me, that is fair, sir. So moving on.
What do we have
Next,
up next?
we had there was supposed to be a number one contenders match
There was,
for the women's
unfortunately,
championship. That things got changed.
Ruthie
there.
J, her flight was canceled and she was not able to make it to the show. But Angel Metro came out. She talked to the crowd, and then we had Lavari post game.
Hold on. Not just Angel Metro didn't just come out. She was interviewed.
Oh,
by,
she was
I can't
interviewed
remember
by
her name, but I just wanted to mention that national anthem was amazing.
Yes. So yeah,
I
she was
can't
mid
remember
interview. Yeah,
name.
mid interview, she just gets completely derailed by
Chanel
Lavari.
Verandez.
Yes.
There we go.
So she was being interviewed after by Chanel
Yeah.
Verandez.
Yeah, she was introducing herself to the SPO crowd, saying that she was, disappointed that she wasn't going to be able to participate in a number one contenders match for them tonight. When the music hits, Lavari and post game come out. And wow, those guys did not do themselves any favors by coming out there. They just did typical, stereotypical, just there's my derailment. Lavari looking when he knows he's in trouble. There he is, bringing out post game.
Yeah, that was later on in the night.
Yep. So, but yeah, post game made fools of themselves by trying to just hit on Angel Metro, who obviously had zero interest in either Vinny or
Oh,
Miami.
And Lavari had choice words for her, questioning why she was actually there.
I'm not going to repeat what Lavari said. Personally, I'm not repeating what he was calling her, but
Yeah, that wasn't quite peak.
That was uncalled for, in my opinion. So, Angel, Miami, it was Vinny who leaned out and tried to get a kiss from Angel Metro. She looks back at the crowd. Should I give him one? We're like, sure, lay one on him. She laid one on him, all right, and well deserved at that. Angel Metro at that point was announced as a participant in the 25-person battle royal later that night. So,
24 men and her.
24 men and 25 people.
Yeah. So the post game tried to go after her, and then we have Stan Styles and Mark Angel, the Creamy World Order, come out, and which leads to a tag team match between them and post game with Angel at ringside still for the CWO and Lavari in the corner post game. What were your guys' thoughts on this?
It got creamy.
God!
Get creamy. I got the whipped cream all over me from that first chop, that first whipped cream chop with the kid.
The whipped cream chest chops.
Yeah.
And at one part of this match, they even bring fans. Mm-hmm. Some of the kids.
Oh yeah, the kids were loving it. They got to spray whipped creams on the guys and just slap away.
They got to hold them back.
Yep.
What do we have? As you can see here,
there it is. Yes. Good times had by all. Mark Angel was a student of Trent Acid. Thank you for that factoid, Tara. That's good to know. And he definitely gave it his all in there.
Oh, and it was fun. It was it was great. Like their reaction to the kids that were sitting behind us, they were just into it the entire time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when they came out at first, they were shooting whipped cream into the kids' mouths, so that's a way to win over any kid I know.
Instant sugar, yes.
Yes.
So and then
we did have the CWO come out on top in that match.
Did we?
Was it CW? No. Who took
what
notes?
What are you doing here, man?
What are you doing here?
Oh, look, and
there in post game. There it is. Post game got the win.
Yeah, because they rolled them up after the distraction with Mark and Angel outside the ring.
Yes.
That was right. That was not right in front of us, but to our left. Yeah, it was a fun match, though, and it wasn't the last time that we see any of these people later on, because they were also all in the Skyrocket Rumble.
Yes.
A little red. Angel, what do you think?
It's pretty red. Yeah, I don't know if we should maybe flush it with something or I don't.
What are you doing with the shake weight?
I've just brought it out from the ring.
We saved Angel. That matters.
That's all that matters.
Thank
you guys. But
they were awful.
God, I don't even know. We're in this Rumble next or something.
You know what? Post game, you're a bunch of pieces of trash. You picking on her? Why? She went out there to have a match, and y'all come out and you think you can bully her? I think we showed him a thing or two, right, Stan?
You know what? I think I need to take matters in my own hands and transform, if you know what I mean.
Oh no.
All right, hold on. Actually, I'm out of cream too. All right. Well, you know what? Hey, you know what, guys? Hey, SPO Wrestling, our debut. You haven't seen anything yet. You know what?
You're darn right.
Let me shake it off.
Shake it off, Stan.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
We're gonna shake
Come on,
it off.
Shake it off.
That's right.
Woo!
Now we know how they get that whip so creamy.
All right. I think.
Yes, John.
Just got Tafford. Yeah. So anyway,
I love that picture because the next thing you're gonna see is that point.
As long as I don't get the emu.
is it selling you car insurance?
Maybe. And there it is. Moving on.
But yeah, so what did you think of the match between Post Game and the Creamy World Order?
It was fun. It was. I mean, there was a lot of running around the ring, and like Lavari and Angel got involved, and I mean, it was just a fun match. Excuse me if this offends anybody, I would say it was a comedy match. Although there was some really good spots in there.
Oh, there was real wrestling happening.
Oh no, definitely. But overall,
even the kids got involved, holding them down, holding these guys down to the ring, just for the targets to be whipped creamed onto their chest for the chops at that point. Oh, it was just fun.
It was a mess, and it was fun.
Can't ask for much more.
Nope.
Ben Dog, how you feeling, man?
I feel awful. I feel awful.
We won.
I know we won. I knew we were gonna win because that's what we do.
Yes.
That's what we do.
Yes.
But I feel awful that I got cream all over my body.
That was
it killed my
disgusting.
calorie count,
I
and I got
know.
smacked in the face. By that, I can't even say it. I know
Angel Metro, right? What's
Yeah.
her Metro Angel?
I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
You'll get her back. Rumbles later tonight.
Rumbles later.
Get her back.
Yeah.
No one slaps my guy in the face.
Yeah, she
no
missed
one messes with you.
They missed their opportunity. So now they're getting a whole lot of Talata
Yeah.
every time we're at
Oh,
SBO.
yeah.
Oh!
And the post game, as always, is gonna get the dub and hit the club. Vindog, let's get it.
Yeah.
You can say these guys are at least full of themselves and they believed in themselves. Like I guess you can't ask for
To a
much
fault.
more in this situation.
yeah, no. Someone needs to be there for our favorites to beat us.
I mean, at the same time, I'll still stand by it. Every time I see them in the ring, they look just a little bit better. And
Yeah.
Lavari
They're
was a
improving.
help to them.
He definitely was.
It seems like Lavari's studying up.
Oh, he seems to be studying under the Tree of Skills the Great. It would be be my assessment there.
Yeah, and then I think he's been studying the likes of Paul Heyman as
That
well.
too. That too.
Like if he's becoming a student of the game. Imagine that he. Whoa! Nobody was talking about Eric Bischoff here. Come on, man. I don't want him coming in and clotheslining me with them big arms. Nah, man. I'm
83
good.
weeks straight, he'll clothesline you.
Oh. As long as it's not for 3 minutes.
Okay. Next.
So moving on. And I know we usually save this stuff for the end of the our wrap up. But there's no way I can bring this match up and not say it. That a match that was not booked, that was not advertised, two guys who were scheduled to be in the Rumble turn around and put on an absolute banger match of the night. Like,
Yes.
I can't talk about this match and not say that from the top. And being the returning Jordan Oliver.
Surprise of the night for me.
Yeah, only his second match back. And then
after
going up
9 months off of ACL injury.
And then going up against Flying Ryan, who's only had a handful of matches compared to him.
About 20, he said, total. He's been in it for about a year.
And that these guys went out there and absolutely stole the show.
Oh, yeah. Now, when Jordan came out, I feel like he was a little taken aback because the crowd was chanting "Welcome back," and I don't think he was really ready for that. He looked very surprised, especially because he did
Ryan's
nothing to
chest
heal
after the
him,
match.
But hey, heel or no heel, we respect you. We want to see you in the ring, regardless. He really gave props to Ryan, and he wouldn't shake his hand.
He did
before the
refuse to
match
shake
started.
first, yes.
Yeah, he said it had to be
said,
earned.
Let me see what you can do. Let me see you earn it. And
for a match not advertised. And then you see, we're like, all right, we got the young boy in there, we really don't know who he is. We know who he is.
Oh no, we know.
I
who
will.
he is,
I will
Never
always
gonna forget.
remember the name
Like-
Flying Ryan O'Neal.
Like, let me be honest. That was a match of from beginning to end. Is a match that I do expect on the indies, but not what it was. That was special. That was something to where those guys didn't just look like $1 million. They looked like $1 billion.
The crowd was behind this match from bell to bell. They were invested, involved, cheering every move that both of these guys made. The crowd did not want to choose a favorite in this match at all.
No.
Just so many close pinfalls.
Mm-hmm.
So many submissions. Like there's one point where Jordan Oliver has a Boston Crab fully cinched in, and he just came back from ACL injury, and that he's sitting so far back on his weight and just wrenching it in.
He actually put his head back on the mat during that move.
It's just insane that
Oh.
somebody who's only had 2 matches in 9 months, and then somebody who's only had 20-ish some odd matches, and they're going out there looking like that. That's a match of how it played out. I expect to watch at WrestleMania. That's how high I'm putting this match up. And then look at this. Flying Ryan with Simon Gotch in the ring before the show.
That tells me that Ryan is serious about this. He wants to know everything he can about pro wrestling and how to be as great as he can be. If he's out there talking to Gotch before the show, he knows who to talk to.
So this match had a little bit of everything. It had, flips and dives and flips and dives, and it had submissions, and it had chops. I mean, this match was just, it had something for everybody, and it was just so well done. Like both guys just,
they showed out.
I've always known about Jordan Oliver's ability, but this Flying Ryan kid.
Now, no disrespect to the top of this card with the Rumble and the SPO Championship match. This match was the main event of the night.
Absolutely. Yeah, no.
Like, I want to see it again. I want to see these two run it back.
Not only do I want to see it again, now I'm fantasy booking like, okay, Ryan O'Neal versus.
Yeah, like, and even
Kid
when
Flash is a good shout. Ryan O'Neal, Kid Flash would be a really good match.
Who? Did you say Kid Flash?
Kid Flash. Jesus.
Kid Legend? Combining Kid
Flash
Legend and Flash Carter.
I don't know what I was doing there. Yeah, no, Kid Legend rather. I don't know why.
And speaking
there
of
you
that,
go. There's
look,
Kid Flash.
Nice segue.
That's a tag team right there. Kid Flash.
I'm wondering, did anybody check with the Silver Police for Flash Carter?
His disco ball pants were amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Just to say, like we got to speak with Ryan O'Neal after the show and everything, and I even spoke to him after his match.
Yeah, his best is hamburger.
Look at that color.
Yeah, he's an absolutely amazing person too.
Oh, really nice guy.
Yeah.
Very approachable.
Yeah.
And
really good dude.
Yes, amazing. He, like Kid Legend, who had the section of the night, he had a good section on the other side of us for his match.
Kid Legend and Flash Carter brought amazing cheering sections.
There was like 30 or 40 Kid Legend shirts out there. There was yeah.
But yeah, like there's not enough I can say about this match, from the high spots to the technical wrestling spots to the hard hitting, the chops, the boots.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to rewatching this match on Radiant TV when it's available.
Like, I'm not going to say a name or anything of this person, but this is a match a certain person would give a very high rating to.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't want to say that tool's name. I might get sick live on the air if I do.
It's
But
fair.
seriously, like that match is a match that anybody up and coming who's in a school or anything like that just starting, that's a match they should watch to know that when your time comes and a moment happens, that the work pays off. Because that was a heck of an opportunity for him to have against Jordan Oliver. And like I said, they looked like $1 billion out there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a hell of a match to take us into the intermission there, too.
So,
we
George Oliver gets the victory.
And
yes.
He does show respect.
Shows respect.
Yes.
We get a
He
handshake.
did shake his hand, and then they hugged it out afterwards.
It was a moment. It was definitely after that match. It was what needed to happen.
That match, even with the intermission happening right after, really set the tone for what was to come. And we look at what was to come next, and none of those guys should be looking behind them at matches that have happened. Like, we're going on after that. And then
we came back from intermission with quite a banger too,
and it was a completely different react. Everybody paying attention to the match. And that was different.
A first time ever match that we got in SPO wrestling.
And the crowd, it was like a Wrestle Kingdom crowd, just silent until the spot.
Should we let everyone know the name of these two competitors?
Yes. Yeah. Simon Gotch and Drew Gulak, two former WWE stars, having their first match ever. But I love that match.
Gotch, the Noah mask, yeah.
Yeah, their first ever matchup, and it happened here in SPO.
Right in front of us.
Like it didn't happen.
A technical masterpiece.
It was technical and hard. This was exactly what we thought it was going to be. But my shock was the crowd reaction to where you turn around and you see everybody's very attentive, paying attention to what's going on. They're not looking at their phones. It was like watching a Japanese. It was like watching Japanese wrestling. The crowd was quiet. They were just deadlocked into the match.
Yeah, it was very much the crowd was focused, and we clapped and we reacted, but we were focused in on the match. There was not a lot of hooting and hollering during this one. It was more like, okay, what are these guys going to do next? I can't even distract myself with anything. I need to watch and focus on what these guys are doing, and that was so worth it for me to just be able to pay attention.
Yeah, it was one of those things to where you blink and they're going to be in a whole different hole. Like you're going to be like, what did I miss in 2 seconds?
And the finish was lightning fast.
And dude, we had the match spills outside the ring at one point. Gotch does his little thing where he goes, sits in the crowd. It was another absolute wonderful match, and it was the complete, like I said, in the best way I could say possible. It was just different, the energy for that match.
The crowd was almost as intense as the wrestlers were.
It was like watching golf compared to watching soccer.
And between both these matches, at any point you could look up at the curtain and see everybody is either standing outside of the curtain or they're looking through the curtain watching both the Flying Ryan and Jordan Oliver match and this one. The curtain had a full house for the rest of the night. It really did.
Yeah.
And these two just went out there hold for hold. Like a true technical masterpiece, and another match I would say that students should watch because there's a lot you can learn from watching it. Yeah. And I hope to see it again.
Yeah. I'm not sure either guy had a true advantage in this match until it was decided. Until the 3 count happened.
Yeah. Oh my god, it just got really windy.
Okay.
And now we go to the weather.
The weather with BJ.
BJ does the weather. All right, but yeah, this it was almost like this is one of those matches I wanted that energy for, and the crowd level being how it was and how it was more attentive to the match and not necessarily cheering was just as good because you didn't want to miss a thing in this. These guys went out there 110%, both of them.
The crowd energy was there. It was intense. It was refocused, though. It was focused and channeled in a different way.
There was a back and forth chant at one point, but like for the most part, 75% of the match, the crowd was silent. In
a good way. Like I said, more like a New Japan wrestling crowd because there's more typical that we don't really cheer and pop for stuff.
Yeah,
the place exploded as soon as the 3 count happened.
Sequences.
And I'm going to be perfectly honest. This probably would have been my match of the night if it hadn't been
Ryan
on my previous match.
Yeah,
but if there was a match that wasn't on paper.
Yes.
But yeah, Drew Gulak picks up the victory.
Yep.
And what I thought was,
as I believe I predicted. I don't know about you guys.
Let me pull out the prediction sheet here.
Dude, I don't remember who I called to win half these because half the matches weren't advertised. So
but this one was.
Yeah.
Yes,
this one was. So, yep. No, actually, I was the only one that picked Gotch. Both of you guys picked Gulak. So, there you go.
All right.
Making up for my perfect day at WrestleMania the other week.
So I am 1-0 currently in matches. We had one of the matches we knew was happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't have any of. Well, the Rumble was the only other match that we actually had that we predicted.
Are you just forgetting about the SPO World Championship match?
I am not. We did actually. Yes, we did. I do have that written down here too. I completely
because
my eyes scanned way over it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Our predictions on that.
So speaking of that, now let's get
let's go right to it. Yeah, our predictions. We had all of us taking face in this match between Rick Blade.
Things have gotten awkward in the past between Rick Blade and us.
Well, initially you and Rick Blade.
BJ got called out when he did not pick Rick Blade once, and all of us got called out as we were walking into the arena today.
I was not wrong. I was not wrong.
But you know.
It is not fun being on Rick Blade's bad side.
Him,
yeah. Oh yeah. We fired him up.
That we're the reason the match ends the way it does. We lit that fire under his ass that he needed.
He had something to prove.
Stop. Yeah.
He was going against.
He stopped the unstoppable.
BJ, you just don't think I'm gonna win the title.
Yeah. I'm sure he was, just doing like 100-pound curls. Just
look, this is the look we got. That's
directly
the exact
at us.
We got.
Yeah, that's us that he's looking at.
Yeah,
we failed.
Told you so. We did. I admitted fully being wrong. I said I am not picking against Rick Blade again, and I will keep my word. Rick Blade keeps that championship until he wants to get rid of it.
Performing him to the ring.
Tone Love was fantastic as Rick Blade's intro. He really brought energy with him that Rick Blade channeled into the match.
The Philly legend.
Yes, again, shout out to Nana's Cotton Candy Clouds. Run Sanaya Run. I got the chance to speak with Tone. Yep. After the show and everything. Great guy. And we were talking about the foundation summit. I'm like, you and your wife are doing great things. And it's great to see that positivity going out into the world because more than ever, it's needed.
His name is Tone Love.
But yeah, and the shock. Like this literally popped me out my seat, and it takes a lot to make me stand up out my seat. That rarely happens, whether I'm home or at an event.
Well, Rick Blade had something to prove to everybody. I believe not only us, I think he had something to prove to himself with winning that belt too. So I think that he did definitely prove that not only to us, but I think he proved it to himself too, that he is still, even after how long he was out of the ring, after coming back last year, everything that he's been through since then, he's come a long way in his comeback. And that title with Trent Acid's face on it, his body on there, that I'm sure that means everything to Rick.
Trent Acid used to sleep on his couch.
Let's just put into perspective a year ago when we were there for the return of Rick Blade. And we see that this whole story came full circle with Face winning this championship. And now eventually having to defend it against Rick, and Rick conquering that mountain. And going from just a return at the firehouse in Burlington, put him in the back seats doing the Shield style bomb through the table. After the table was an MVP and didn't allow Rick to put Face through with the Swanton.
That was a tough table.
Yeah. I definitely don't think that table was Spanish, because if it was Spanish, it would have just collapsed right away.
It must have been one of those no WWE tables.
but just seriously, the story, the full circle story now for Rick Blade.
Yeah, amazing. And I posted a clip of that last week on social media. It's just amazing to see where we are now.
Yeah,
and we
very happy for Rick Blade.
Yeah, that's a pick I'm 100% happy that I got wrong.
Yeah.
Even if it meant that because he was messing with us, that I had to go buy Face merch, just to mess back with him. But with all due respect, he absolutely deserves that championship. We were all chanting, "You deserve it," and it wasn't the first time we chanted that.
No, not at all.
Oh, not at all.
Like, how much more of a full circle story can you get? His return started with Face, and now
obviously no one believed that he's
championship.
Obviously, we didn't think he still had it. He proved us wrong. And Rick
and
Blade,
you know what?
We are humbled, and I accept my place at the bottom of the food chain now.
Look, listen, no. Listen, we lit the fire under his ass for that to happen. I feel like between the four of us, we are each 25% the SPO world champion. All right.
I'm not Matt Cardona. I'm not claiming a piece of the belt.
At least we're claiming a men's championship and not a women's.
Yeah, but at least he's married to the champion he was claiming a belt from.
Look, if it wasn't for us, Face would have won. Let's just leave it at that.
I think Rick Blade had a lot to do with why Face lost too. So now that brings us to the 25-person Rumble.
Hold on, no.
We have more before we get to the Rumble.
Rick Blade had to say after his championship win.
All right.
Roll that beautiful Blade footage.
At the man on this title. You have no idea the pride I feel holding this right now. Trent Acid was not only an amazing professional wrestler, he was a very, very good friend of mine. The man lived in my house for a period of time. And just to say now I am the SPO heavyweight title with his picture on it is one of the greatest accomplishments in my life. Now, unfortunately, with the way I feel right now, the joy I feel right now holding this title, for Declan Grant to stick his nose out and say something about my daughters when I'm trying to celebrate this with them just shows how much of a piece of shit he is. And the next SPO event, it's going to be my pleasure for my first defense to beat the living shit out of him. For this man, for all the fans in there, for my family, Declan Grant, you have no idea what you're in for.
So, yeah, that's something to talk about real quick before moving on to the Rumble. That
Yep.
after the match, Rick Blade is
Yeah.
celebrating with his wife and his family.
Despicable Declan Grant.
And I believe we have a photo of Declan standing in the ring. Yep, there it is. And wow, the things he said to get under Rick's skin. And it worked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it worked. Absolutely.
He's just talked himself into a championship match, and no disrespect to Declan Grant, but if this is a Rick Blade coming,
I'm not sure Declan Grant really deserves your respect after the things that he said.
Well, I'm just saying, no, with all due respect.
Okay,
not saying I
fair.
respect him, with all due respect. Not saying I respect him for what he did, because I feel like he went about it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
But just the general idea that he took them shots. And one thing's having just a Rick Blade coming out and returning a year ago, and now doing what he's done and having the incredible matches he's done. He came out and talked about the man's family. Yeah, you know. He came out and talked about the man's family, you know, just to get under his skin. Do you want that Rick Blade coming
he's
after
getting
you?
that Rick Blade. He's getting that Rick Blade, like it or not. Yeah. Declan's in trouble.
Yeah, that's an angry Rick Blade. That's a Rick Blade with a target.
Yes.
And that you just painted on yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rick Blade is fired up now. You do not want a fired up Rick Blade, and you do not want to be on that Rick Blade bad side.
Ask Face what happens with a fired up Rick Blade.
Yeah, if he was able to take out the feral face, and not just take him out, but take him out pretty decisively too. So I'm sure that Rick Blade will have no problem handling Declan Grant.
Declan Grant, all you have to do is get him in an easy submission move, and you win.
Apparently.
I mean, yeah, we've seen that.
So, controversial as it may be.
But now, you know, I guess it is time for the main event to be spoken about. And the Skywalker Rumble to crown a new Skywalker champion.
Yes, Johnny Kashmere abdicated the throne, and
But let's bring up back up that graphic real quick.
Yes.
The Skywalker Rumble graphic real quick. Don't you just think looking at this at some point Johnny's just going to be lurking, waiting to go after the winner?
I mean, he does look a little Sith-like there. You never know.
Yeah. You know, a little. Maybe not now, you know. It might not even be the winner of this Rumble, but just at some point. Or that he has some influence on it, right? Like, there's just putting it out there, you know. That it's very Sith-like, like you said.
Or maybe it's just a cool poster. We don't know. But anyway, yeah, Johnny came out. He abdicated the title there, and we got the 25-person Rumble and started off
Angel versus Angel. We're right back where we started, full circle.
Right back to Angel and post game. And we had some comeuppance here as Angel was able to get the elimination.
The low bridge of the rope.
Love it.
Boy. Rookie mistake there, you know. Like, you don't go charging at the person like that.
Could be the elimination of the night, you know, just because of the comeuppance factor there. But I mean, the real elimination of the night happens at the end, but we'll get to that later. We had a lot of action that happened in between the start and the end there.
Let's talk about the fact that some of the participants in this match. Flash Carter.
Mm-hmm. First time.
Debut in SPO. Absolutely amazing. He did a fantastic job in the Rumble.
Yeah. Great showing from him. Look forward to seeing him in the future in SPO.
We had the return of Kid Legend.
after 14
And-
long years away.
And
And not
where
only
he-
Kid Legend, we also had the president of wrestling, Phil Stamper.
who Kid Legend eliminated. And
He
there's
did.
Kid Legend and Flash Carter there.
Trust him, Phil.
Hey,
Yeah,
Phil, don't look
he
at me
put-
like that. Go
He
away,
got
man.
dressed up and everything.
That's him after
after-
his elimination.
Yeah. Obviously not happy about it. Robbie,
Boy.
Kid Legend, and Johnny.
I love Kid Legend's Power Rangers inspired gear. Absolutely love it.
His whole Velcro. Velcro might actually, that is my elimination of the night right there. Velcro eliminating himself. But he was the sacrificial lamb according to what he said. He was told to sacrifice himself, so he did.
And Velcro came in there fired up. He went after Pat in the corner, got some punches in, turn around. Oh yeah, Velcro's birthday party.
He's
This
not a rapper.
Friday.
He's a mother effing rock star.
That he is. I think that's the Vox Lounge.
Wah
it's
Lounge.
pronounced-
Wah. Wah Lounge. Yes. If I wasn't actually having to cook for people, I would definitely be there this Friday night.
But yeah, and then he hits a really good rock bottom and then does that spot. And then we have Stan Styles coming back out as the
He
creamy
is
shredder.
Stan Shredder Styles. Yeah, a extra creamy shredder.
That
That was his
costume's
transformation
great.
there.
Yeah, that costume's great. I absolutely love it.
Yep, going to go turtle hunting later.
But yeah, there were some fun spots really in this match. You know.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah, the 619
this one,
from Flash Carter.
And then that Pat Dynamite.
That Dynamite.
rocking
And wearing the
silver.
backseat silvers.
Boys.
He came out with the new mustache. Looking glorious.
Yeah, that was new. That threw me off for a moment. When I first see him, I'm like, wait a minute, is that Pat? Wait, is that Pat?
He's a master of disguises. I mean,
and then
well,
I
that'll
love
be at long hair.
Calculated
No.
Kurt Robinson.
The end of the match, the elimination
comes down to
win.
these two.
Yeah. And boy, this was literally right in front of us.
Yes.
It doesn't
Yeah.
get much better.
The
and
final
the look
elimination.
on Kurt's face. He knows. He's like,
He
well,
knows that
I'm
he's
not
done.
winning this match.
Well, I tried my best, but
And there
we
you
go.
Your winner and the new Skywalker champion, Pat Dynamite, who I do believe we all picked to win.
We did.
No, you two picked him to win. I picked Kid Legend because Kid Legend convinced me in his interview. I'm still convinced that he could have done it if a couple of more things had just broken his way just a little bit.
Like face not coming out.
Yeah, so there we get down, I believe, to the final
a
three.
little bit of interference.
Final three. No, was it final four
Final
that he
four.
was in, and then during something going on, you next thing you know, you look at the walkway at the entranceway. Here comes Face running out, and following him is Skills the Great, another new client for him apparently.
No. Skills represented face back in.
No. Yeah, but it was never truly official at that point. Now he's
The official now.
officially a Skills the Great guy, we can say.
Yeah. So, are they trying to form a new stable here, a la the High Five, which seems
Would
to have
be
gone
very
away?
interesting.
Yeah.
I could see Primal Fear fitting in nicely.
Yeah. Yep.
And this was the other moment of the night that popped me out my seat when Pat won.
Yes. Yeah. Very happy to see Pat. Well earned. Congratulations.
Well, that was a huge moment last time. Him coming in at the end of not being advertised and coming in at the end of last match in a mask, clearing the ring, and then, unmasking. Yeah, that was a huge pop.
So where do things go for Pat Dynamite from here now? Well, he's essentially now carrying the legacy of that championship.
Mm-hmm.
And what it
think
means,
so.
he won it in the silvers, and there's our champions there. Do we have the shot with the dogs?
Yeah.
And
I
there we
love this
go.
picture. Love
Tiny
these
and-
pictures.
Rick Blade's dog.
Anytime we have dogs with championship belts, that's a win. So, big congratulations to both Rick Blade and Pat Dynamite on picking up those belts.
They both
Yeah.
absolutely deserve it.
Absolutely,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, they do.
Like you couldn't ask for much more of a show, especially going into it knowing we were guaranteed a new champion with the Rumble. We were
Yeah, and we got
guaranteed to see something like that happen, and then we get Rick Blade going out there becoming champion.
The ending of this show felt like the ending of Star Wars Episode 4. Like, everything is awesome. Everything's great. We won. We did it. You know what I mean? I'm just afraid that next event is going to be Empire Strikes Back.
So, step back real quick. We were talking about where do you think things go from here now with Kid Legend, who was essentially robbed of a chance to win that match by Face, who wasn't even in the match.
I would like to see a
Now-
match between Kid Legend and Face. I think that would be a banger. I think those two would go at each other hard, especially after what we saw at the Rumble.
But do you want to have that match with him after he's lost the championship and an angry Face?
Do you ever
Who
want to have a
also
match
was
against an angry
escorted to
Face?
the ring for his match with Elena Mizrani.
Yes, dressed as Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And
I think we have a pick of that some we could.
Like, I get it, Face was mad, but why specifically Kid Legend?
Why not?
Why? Hold on. It's an
He's
MO,
a
right?
target. Yeah.
Like, is this something where it's
New
an
target.
MO of, think about when Rick returned, who did he go after? He went after the guy who returned. Even to the point that of Johnny Cashmere. He has a one night stepping back into the deathmatch scene, you know, and we know what that match was.
Yeah.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, Face and Johnny was an intense death match last year. So that was crazy. Johnny had to reach into the depths of his soul to beat Face and take that title. So, yeah, Face.
Well, to win the championship. That's how.
Yeah, to take that title off of Face. So, but yeah, it was insane. So Angry Face, if he's got Kid Legend in his sights, then Kid Legend has some work to do for himself to protect himself from Face. Not saying that he can't do it, but he's going to really have his work cut out for him.
I'm sorry, I said the name wrong. Elena Mizrania. I think I said it wrong. That's on me. But yeah, it was like everything for this show, right? We get the winner. We get Big Rel doing a whole musical performance after the show with the kids in the ring with our new champion.
Yeah. Yep. The kids enjoyed that.
It was, this whole event was something special, something to be remembered. Like, something that somebody that any wrestling fan should want to watch.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see the next SPO show. I can't wait for that to be announced and get to see where we go from here with these championships, where Angel Metro goes from here. She really deserves her number one contenders match. She really needs to get that.
Heck, maybe we get lucky now, and since that match didn't happen, maybe we get Angel, Ruthie, and brain farting. Angel, Ruthie, and Tasha. Thank you. Woo. And a triple threat match for the championship.
Yeah, I would be fine with that, but I think I want to see Angel get a one-on-one match first. I feel like she needs a chance to shine.
One-on-one with Ruthie first, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel it should be interesting to see where things go from here, like just across the board, because the back seats have a lot of competition when they return.
They do. Number one, in my opinion, being the rep again. Still,
Like, and I'm pretty sure they assumed they had the rep in their rear view at this point.
the rep's still in that rear view, and they're getting closer.
And then, who could Pat's first opponent be?
Yeah,
That's a good
wide
question.
open right now.
Is it Jordan Oliver?
No.
Why not? When Jordan Oliver got injured, he relinquished that championship to Face.
He did.
Before
He
Johnny
never
won
lost
it.
that belt. He never
Yeah,
lost. He has a claim to it.
He's an
Yeah,
uncrowned
but he
champion.
kind of got handed that belt, if you remember
And
correctly.
but he also successfully defended that championship at this on the same show it was handed to him. So
No, I get it, but like he didn't do anything to earn it.
he had a
Well,
match that was a championship match for that
Win that
title,
match.
and
But
he did
that was
win
just
it.
because. But that was just because the high five were like, oh, we got this extra belt. Oh, we got this extra guy. Fight a match.
Yeah, and so then he
happened,
did
though.
win the championship. So then he,
Which legitimized him as the champion.
I know, I get it. I'm just saying.
I mean,
I'm saying he does have a. I'm just saying he does have a claim to that belt.
he was the last. He was the holder, and he had to relinquish it. He was never beaten for the championship,
Let's
just
look
like
at
Johnny
wins.
Cashmere.
Let's look at
Technically,
wins.
was also never beaten for the championship. It was
Well,
vacated.
apparently he doesn't want it. He doesn't want the belt. It would be nice to see a dark Cashmere versus Pat, but you know, I'm not holding it down for that. Yeah.
I mean, we do have the Sith poster. It could be foreshadowing, or it could, like I said, just be a really cool poster.
Speaking of foreshadowing in the Sith, on May 4th, everybody, if you're not doing anything around 5 o'clock, tune in to BJ and DG Talk Wrestling for our episode 23 of our weekly live
Yeah.
stream.
After taking a couple weeks off due to the most recent SPO event and after a lot of WrestleMania streaming. But yeah.
Well, we were live streaming WrestleMania that one Sunday too, so yes.
That one Sunday, that one Saturday, stand to deliver. Every event
All
that
that.
week, every Wednesday.
All right.
So
let's
yeah,
bring it on home.
Overall, this event was absolutely wonderful.
Best SPO event yet.
Yeah.
And the potential's there for it to only get bigger and better.
Yeah, this
and
event made me want to be at the next event even more.
Yeah, and thank you to all the sponsors that were there. The Burnt Coffee Company.
I love the
R5
coffee can that we
Media,
got.
Donna's Organic Cotton Candy Clouds.
They actually sold out of the
Yeah.
special flavor they made.
Nice.
There was a caramel one that Tone Love actually let me try. Oh, it was absolutely amazing. And then the back seats this Saturday, I believe it's this Saturday, will be at the 2300 Arena
Oh,
going
that's
up
right.
against
Yes,
the
they
Rock
will.
and Roll Express.
I'm going to try to get to that. I'll probably fail.
We got
I'm gonna try.
Velcro as the back seats do America. Them bungholes.
Yeah, hitchhiking is hard nowadays.
But yeah, and then Velcro's birthday party this Friday at
Voix
how do you say?
Lounge, 2825 Cotman Avenue in Philadelphia.
He's not
Yeah,
a rapper.
just-
He's an MF and rock star.
Yes, Literally Speaking podcast was also there as well, which we got to speak to them before the show started.
Good guys.
Right when we
Good
got
guys.
there,
Go follow them too.
Yes, definitely go check them out. And like I said at the top of the show, thank you to everybody that was a part of it, from the fans to the staff running the show. It was A++. Like everybody hit a grand slam home run, and there's the results on the screen.
And
of
we
the
didn't give
night.
the Rumble justice. There was so much that happened, so many people involved.
It's just it's hard to name everybody involved.
I haven't even taken it all in yet. I have the whole thing filmed on my phone.
Well, luckily you'll be able to rewatch the entire thing. It's coming. Coming to
with,
pay-per-view.
the Radiant
But I
app.
filmed it.
Download
But
that
yes,
now,
but-
wherever you download your apps.
Yep. So,
And
be able to
then
watch
if
all
you,
the action.
if you guys liked what you saw here today of us talking about this, we do this on a weekly basis at BJ
Still love
and
that
DG
suit
Talk
Scott was wearing.
Wrestling. You know, hit a follow for us to our channel over there, and you can just enjoy this and more. We talk about Spo sometimes on the show as well.
Because why wouldn't we?
And then it was great being there for the returns of Jordan Oliver, Kid Legend, who did an absolute fantastic job in that Rumble for it being his first time back in a ring.
If it wasn't for Face, it would have been
It could have been a victory for him. It could. I mean, he was my number 2 pick.
Yep.
You know, it was just really hard to not pick Pat Dynamite after his last match that lost to Face, and to make that comeback. And then we show up and he's in silvers. It was just meant to be.
Yeah,
you were right. I was wrong. All right, gentlemen.
And on that note, I am the Danger Ginger. You can follow me at the Danger Ginger 1 on Instagram.
I'm Chef the Ref. Follow me at Chef the Ref, Chef_the_ref.
And I'm BJ.
He drinks beer.
I drink beer. Yeah, you can follow me at BJ Drinks Beer on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Everybody, as I end all our shows, be positive out there. Put positivity out into the world, and it'll bring positivity to you. Everybody, have a good night. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, ring the bell.